Anthropic just released two of its Mythos class models to the public. One you can do world class offensive cyber attacks with, but you can't have it. And the one that you can refuses to. My name is Brandon. I'm building my way into cybersecurity in 2026. And in this video, I'm going to show you why this release matters, give you a quick overview of the model, some of the benchmarks, and show the fallback system that Anthropic has created for cybersecurity, especially. Let's dive right in. And here we are on the Anthropic announcements page. As you can see, Claude Fable 5 and Claude Mythos 5. They are launching Claude Fable 5, a Mythos class model they've made for general use. Um, these capabilities of these models have already been pretty proven, I would say. If you look at some of the things Project Glasswing has done with the 0 days they have discovered and some of the vulnerabilities that have been patched since then, I do think whether you believe in the Mythos hype or if it's just marketing hype, there does seem to be some tangible um, remediations to it. So if we look here, these are going to be the benchmark results for the Mythos 5 and Fable 5 model. Take these with a grain of salt as they are Anthropic's own reporting and testing. So these haven't been third party independently verified yet. But as you can see, even on agentic coding, 80.3% versus Gemini's 54.2%, a massive step up. If we go down to the one that I really care about, the cybersecurity, this one is using Exploit Bench. So this is more of a third party proven test, if you will. 78% versus GPT's 34.0%. And this really just kind of iterates back to the point of how capable this model is at long form, long horizon tasks. It's able to take one vulnerability or one coding problem and chain it together down the line and use it in other things. That is how it is able to create such insane exploits, if you will. And this is really all comes down to a byproduct of how good it is at software engineering. We see here, this is the frontier code accuracy versus cost graph. This one shows Fable 5, Opus 4.8, and GPT 5.5. Basically leaves them in the dust at every stage. Agentic coding, this is SweBench Pro, Frontier Code. At least according to these metrics, you have success rate on the vertical axis here, much, much better. And kind of getting back to the memory and long context of Fable 5, it was actually able to beat Pokemon Fire Red using only vision. And anybody that's used any of these models in some of their more multi-model capabilities will speak to the fact that they can be very hit or miss, especially if you are trying to keep persistent memory of something that it's visually recognizing. So this using only a visual harness and really no other actual tools is very, very impressive. Some more stuff here about simulations. It excels very good at drug design too. And when they were talking about trying to prevent any nefarious use of this, they talk a lot about drug pattern and microbiology because, much like cybersecurity, nefarious actors can use these for financial, political, other reasons beyond just the advancement of society. And here we have the misaligned behaviors. As you can see, scores about the same as the preview model, about the same as 4.8, but massive improvement over Sonnet 4.6. Just some glazing by GitHub and Cursor. And here they talk about the safeguards. So this one is heavily, heavily safeguarded as basically anything related to offensive and even defensive cybersecurity is just going to result back to the Opus 4.8 model. They released this with extremely stringent safeguards, and over the coming weeks, they're going to pull back the safeguards to make it more usable of a model. I'm even on X and Twitter, I've already seen that people can't even do basic cybersecurity audits, and we're going to have a little tool overview here in this video, and I will show you uh, just how neutered of a model it currently is. Um, so here is the safety classifiers. The frontier cybersecurity and research biology capabilities of Mythos class models mean they pose a substantial risk of uplift to malicious actors. And that basically was just what I was saying of nefarious users can use these just as how capable they are of development, they are of exploiting development. Just getting more into some of these safety classifiers. In here, they talk about how, oh, here we are, cybersecurity. Mythos class models excel at discovering and exploiting software vulnerabilities. They can thus make cyber attacks substantially easier and cheaper to commit. And this is kind of the idea of what they're talking about uplifting. It emboldens people that already have the basic understanding or even advanced understanding of these systems and capabilities. It emboldens those truly more than it is some all doomsday device that anybody can go on and hack anything. That's a big stretch from the truth, if you will. The attack success rate, and as you can see, the red teaming they used trying to get it to do nefarious activities was substantially decreased from past Opus models. They also talk more about the biology and chemistry capabilities. That is not something that is my forte, so I won't speak to that. And yeah, rounding out the article here, Claude Fable 5 is available everywhere today. Mythos 5 is still restricted to Glasswing partners. Another interesting thing is pricing is $10 per million input tokens, $50 per million output tokens, but it is only available until June 22nd. After that, they will remove Fable 5 from the plans listed, and then it will require usage credits. After that, they will roll it back out to everybody, assuming they have the capability to do so. Yes, so very interesting times here today as this is a long awaited model, and we are just going to jump over into Claude now. And here we are inside Claude, and as you can see, Fable 5 is now added. I just have this on medium effort. And I'm going to just do a quick run through of showing you just how neutered of a model this currently is if you're trying to use it for anything of cyber capabilities or even just basic understanding of things that are tech related. So here I just have a link to a recent CVE I was researching, and I just have explained this vulnerability to me. I'll just give a quick overview. Here we are on the CVE page. It was for a light LLM proxy server to call LLM APIs in OpenAI. Just an interesting one. It has already been mitigated, but it was an interesting exploit. So I was just having the new one try to explain this vulnerability to me, and let's see what happens. We go off and send it. And because this is such a dumbed down prompt, it will start to go, but seems towards the end to finally trigger the safeguard and pull back. Others, when I use the term exploit or vulnerability, automatically will not even attempt to look it through. But at least for a prompt like this, it does seem to actually push it through the model first. And there it goes. Switch to Opus 4.8. And this is going to just be Opus 4.8 responding now. So we don't really care about that. Very interesting. This one, if you want a little bit more information about this actual CVE, I'll link it down in the description. But so let's try even anything. Let's give it one more time. Or here, edit and retry with Fable 5. Let's try to edit this. let's just do explain this to me. We won't even mention vulnerability. We'll just do explain this. Let's see if we can get a response here. Ah, and even there, I thought for a second we were going to actually get it. My first security related prompt to actually go through Fable, but unfortunately not. We are going to default back to Opus 4.8. Um, in my limited testing with this, uh, it does seem pretty capable of a model. For instance, if I tell it display a network topology chart visually and common attack vectors labeled. We'll do something very, very simple and educational like that, and this seems to be able to go through. Actually, just kidding. Switch to Opus 4.8. I think before I didn't put attack vectors. Let's just do a network topology chart. We will edit and retry, excuse me. We'll do display network topology chart visually. Let's see if the infamous Fable 5 will give us access to its wisdom. Let's see here. It's going to think it's at least going through. And it's going to go ahead and looks like it's using my Excalidraw integrations. So seems pretty smart as a model. I'm going to have to do more. Oh, here. Let's see. Oh, it actually went ahead and pulled from some of my other chats and is doing one for my home lab here. That shows my Kali Linux and Metasploitable things that I've been studying on and training on to get better at offensive and defensive cybersecurity. So this is pretty good here. Let's see. I modeled it on your actual home lab. Internet feeds the pfSense firewall. Awesome. Red dash arrow. That's not exactly what I asked it to do, but it seems pretty smart here to be able to pull through. And this looks really nice, actually. Yeah, beautiful. And there we are. It seems like at least the safeguards for cybersecurity are working as intended, maybe more so than originally intended. All jokes aside, though, over the coming weeks, I'm imagining they will scale this way back and it'll be much more capable of a model when it comes to cybersecurity. I'll probably go through later and do a more in-depth dive. This is more of an initial reaction as it just dropped a couple hours ago at the time of filming this. And so now it kind of transitions into why does this matter for a beginner trying to get into cybersecurity in 2026? It just kind of goes back to the point that AI augmented defensive skills can be extremely bolstered, or offensive skills to that degree, if you have access to the full version of the model. And really, in the industry, the question about knowledge and everything, yes, it still will be required, and those who have advanced knowledge will continue to outperform those who do not. But those who also use AI like this will be able to embolden themselves as well as their team. And that's why the real question shifts to, can you use an extremely capable AI model responsibly? Like, for instance, giving you the full access to the Mythos model. And I think people's track records and provability of integrity will be much more into question when we're going forward, because this will not be the last model. This will not be the last hyped model, and it'll definitely continue to get better and more capable, not the opposite. So thank you today for watching. If you learned anything, please drop a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see more of. Any tutorials or thoughts are appreciated.